Welcome back everyone, Mike here. Today isn't quite as nice as it was yesterday. If you saw that last video, it was absolutely beautiful out. Today we had some rain this morning. We actually had some overnight last night, but it's not too bad of a day. I just delivered some firewood to neighbor Cliff, got that taken care of. But we had an exciting day yesterday, we really did. If you watched the last video, we were pretty busy. You know, I did a firewood delivery in the morning, did some brush hogging, moved some dirt, and then Melissa and I, we took grandson Ty over to Ohio for a birthday party. And we had a great time, and we kind of got into something that I wasn't expecting to do. So I just mentioned that we were real busy yesterday, and then we went to this birthday party, and we took grandson Ty with us. And my old boss, his father-in-law, has a helicopter. And I have never been a big fan of helicopters. I don't even like flying, to tell you the truth. In a plane. I was a blaster for years. I blew things up in a living. That doesn't bother me. I can stand down in the middle of all of our fireworks when I'm lighting the fireworks off. I can sit, on the side of a cliff in a dozer. That doesn't bother me. But heights, helicopters, planes, all that, I'm not a big fan of. And I think it's because I'm kind of like I wouldn't say a control freak, but when we drive somewhere, I'm always the guy driving. I like having a say in things or having my hands on things. And I had no idea what I was doing in a helicopter.
He likes being on the ground, tracks and wheels. And
I like being on the ground. And I don't like being below the ground. I just like being on the ground, on the surface. So we get to this party, and the helicopter's sitting outside, and it's a HD 500, I think. It's a nice looking helicopter. And Bill said he's going to give some rides after the party or during the party. And this one, you're all for it, huh?
Oh, I'm like, I'll go. I love it.
She wants to go skydiving as well.
Yeah.
Not my thing either. And so we got to talking to Bill, and I said, I wasn't planning on going. And
He didn't plan on going.
Right after dinner, he took somebody up, and then it was Melissa's turn, and there were no other takers. Nobody else wanted to go for a ride. So he lands the helicopter, it's all done, shuts it off, and he said to me, he's like, "You sure you don't want to go?" And I'm thinking to myself, I'll never have this opportunity again. And my wife went, so if my wife went and I can't go, there's something wrong. So I said, yeah, I'll go. Well, then it's a whole process. Like, it has to cool down to a certain temperature. Like, you can land and take off and land and take off, but you can't just like land, shut it down, and take right back off. So we had a chance to talk to Bill for a little bit about the helicopter, which I'll show you that right now. All right, we're with Bill here in his helicopter. What model helicopter is this, Bill?
500E.
500E.
MD.
How long have you had this?
3 years.
3 years.
We flew it home from California.
You flew. How many stops did it take from California?
We had 8 stops.
8 stops. So you can go quite a ways though.
Yeah, we could go further, but everybody wanted to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long way to fly a helicopter, huh?
It was a long
Did
way.
you fly it the whole time?
Me and an instructor. I had an FAA agent with me.
Okay.
TJ, he's a instructor. So, and he's also the FAA examiner.
How long have you been flying helicopters?
Probably been 5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some machine. What's the top speed of something like this?
I can do 135, 140.
Yeah, I was watching you when you went that way. It picks up pretty quick. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
It'll go. This is the same helicopter they mow the right-of-ways with the pole to put the mowers under.
Yeah, same one, okay.
It's a working helicopter, yeah.
Okay.
Same one in the military they use with the gunships.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, who makes this?
MD.
MD, that's...
MD, yeah.
Okay.
They used to call them uses, and MD took it over, and then that's who makes it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep.
So that was Bill. He's the pilot, and he was one of our contractors where I used to work, and great guy, and he is super serious when it comes to the helicopter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the safety stuff and going over everything. There's a lot to it. Like he said, he bought that helicopter in California, and they flew it from California, him and another guy, to Ohio. And it's not like, autopilot on an airplane. You're on that stick the entire time.
Yeah.
And I think we were flying at about 140 miles an hour, And what do you keep telling you?
Don't stick your arm out. I'm like, I had a camera and I was like this, and I didn't think I was close to sticking my arm out. So then I felt like I was
Leaning in on it.
I did, because I didn't want him to think I was sticking my arm out or gonna fall out.
He kept asking me if I was okay, and I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. Why? And he must ask me 10 times, everything all right? I'm like, yeah, because you got the headsets on. I go, yeah, I'm fine. And I asked him when we landed, I said, did I look terrified or something? And he said, that's kind of what they're supposed to do, because someone could freak out. And you're in that small little, and you know, I got a stick right here in front of me as well that does the same thing as his does. So I guess if somebody panicked or something, it could get bad pretty quick. And I know a lot of you guys probably flown in helicopters or jumped out of them before. Just not my thing. I've never been in one. My only other experience close to that, and it didn't end well, was with a remote control helicopter. Remember I told you this story?
Yeah.
I picked Hannah up, I think it was Hannah, at a friend's house. And I knock on the front door, nobody answers, and I hear something in the backyard. It sounds like someone's running a weed eater or something. So I go around back, and there's the dad. He's got this big remote control helicopter, and he's flying it all over the place. And these are nothing like a drone. Same thing. You've got to really know what you're doing with these. And he lands it, and he says, you want to try it out? I'm like, no, I've never flown one of those before. And he says, I'll get a small one out. And he goes, it's pretty tough. He says, you can't hurt it, you know, unless you hit something real hard or get it wet. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. So he gets this little helicopter out. I take off. Now keep in mind, he said, don't hit anything hard and don't get it wet. I flew it straight across the valley into a tree, and it fell into the stream.
Yeah, that was Eva's friend.
That was Eva's friend?
Yes.
Eva's friend. And it didn't hurt it, actually. It landed on a rock, and I was all embarrassed. It was a bad deal, but that was my only other experience, and that was a remote control helicopter. So, but it was a lot of fun. They're pretty.
I enjoyed it.
Pretty wild.
I loved it. I would go do it again.
So you're flying along about 140, I think he said. That's why he kept telling her to keep her hands in. He says, people don't realize, you know, I mean, the edge of the door is right at your shoulder, and it's open. And you know what it's like when you stick your hand out of a car window doing 50 or 60. If you're doing 140, it's a different story.
Yeah.
But what did you think of the whole thing?
I enjoyed it. I loved it.
You weren't nervous at all?
I honestly was not. I was excited, got in, got buckled, and yeah, you had mentioned something about, what about takeoff? I didn't even know before you knew it. We were up above everything. We went over the water. There was water, and that was where, like, oh boy, if I fall out of this, falling in water.
See, I felt my best over water. I'm like, at least I got a chance, you know?
I don't know.
The thing goes down. Then he's got a real nice building, and he lands it right on a platform. He's hooked up to a Kawasaki mule, and you can just pull it right in the building. And when we were getting ready to land, he's like, are you all right if I land on the platform? I said, yeah. And he said, I can drop you off. I guess it's a little trickier than just landing, you know, in the grass somewhere, because it's only so big, and you got to hit it just right. And but yeah, he's a great pilot, and it was a lot of fun. It was
fun.
Probably my first and last time in a helicopter. But I figured, you know, this would probably be my only chance, because I definitely would not seek out a chance to ride in a helicopter. But it was all good. They had a beautiful place. It was a nice party. Grandson Ty had a nice time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, they had all this toy equipment.
Yeah, little bulldozers and stuff. Ty.
So fun. Toy tractors and.
Yeah, all
Did you have fun last night on all that equipment?
We didn't get back till like midnight last night. Huh. He slept all the way home, but it was a nice party, great time.
It was. Good
people, and a lot of fun. But we were talking on the way home about, you know, yesterday morning I was delivering firewood and brush hogging and all this. Last night I'm like, it seemed like 2 days ago, and it was all the same day, you know.
That's true. I'm sure everyone
stay
has
pretty
a day
busy.
like that.
But anyway, that's the story on the helicopter ride. Let me know in the comments if you have ever ridden in a helicopter, if you ever plan to. I will say one more thing. Christian, my nephew, the pumpkin grower, and by the way, he said it's growing like crazy, so we'll be doing a follow-up on that video. He went skydiving not long ago, and him and a couple buddies, it's one where they go in tandem or whatever, and they're all excited, feeling pretty good about themselves. You know, we're going to jump out of an airplane. And he said there was like a lady in her 70s that did it as well, so it kind of took the wind out of their sails. But yeah, we'll definitely
so cool.
We'll definitely get an update on the pumpkin soon.
Okay, if you ever get a chance, I recommend it. It was fun for me. So we'll have an update on the pumpkin. And thanks so much for being here, for watching. Comment down below and make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you on the next one. Ty, wave bye. Can you wave bye? Sure you can.